Hello, it's JohnE McCray here with Latitude 64. We're here in Emporia, Kansas at the distribution center here for the 2017 Glass Blown Open, and I got the in the bag for you. I got my Arctic Camo E3 bag here. Works great. I can hold lots of discs. I can hold my sweater in the top, my sweatpants. If it gets too hot, I can take them off, put them in the top. It's a really good bag. Fits well, rides well. Try one of these out if you get a chance. Okay, we're going to go over my putters first. My two main putters that I putt with. My main putter is this BT Medium Shield, Trilogy Stamp Shield here. And this is my main putter. I'll use this 90% of the time when I'm putting. And it's my main go-to. It's really overstable. I like to putt with it, and it doesn't pop up off a line. It stays on that line when I put it on that line. And that's the way I like to putt, so it really works well for me. And having an overstable putter, you need an understable putter as well. So this is my turnover putter. It's a Swan 1 Reborn. And this thing is amazing for holding that 90, 100, 120-foot Anheuser shot. It holds it the whole way. Doesn't even think about coming out. These things are amazing for the turnover putt. And I also use it for a turbo sometimes because it holds that Anheuser on that turbo as well. So these are my two main putters that I use all the time. Now my driving putters, I have this Red Shield, and it's also a Trilogy Challenge stamp, and I love throwing this disc. Honestly, if I could, I would throw it on every single shot. It's an amazing flyer. It usually really goes where I want it to. I can get it to hyzer, I can get it to go straight, I can get it to hold a Anheuser line. As long as it's not a major drastic turn to the right, if I throw it hard, it'll hold an Anheuser line as well. This is a great flying disc. Like I said, if I could throw one disc, this would be the one disc that I threw. And I also have a harp that I just put in the bag. I just went and bought this not too long ago. After being here for a week in Emporia, the winds are very strong here. I played the other day in 22 to 32 mile an hour winds, and it was amazingly tough to throw a disc into. And this BT Medium harp right here is going to be key for Olpe and landing on those rock greens out there. So it's not real hard. It's got a little gum to it, and hopefully I can stick the greens when I approach them. So that's what I got this one here for. All right, now my mid-ranges. From most understable to overstable is the way we're going to go. And this is my Possum Fuse. This is a great disc. Hyzer flip, holds the Anheuser. If the water's on the left-hand side, this is the disc I'm going to throw because it's not going to go left. It is a great flying disc for me, and I'm possum proud. We also got a Warship, VIP Warship that I throw, and this is my straighter, slight hyzer disc. Mainly straighter lines is what I'm throwing this Warship on, and this thing has got great glide on it. The Warship, if you ever need a little bit more distance on your mid, try the Warship. Then I have the Verdict. This is a truth-tooled Verdict, actually, a fusion one. And this thing has still got a little bit of overstability to it. I've been throwing this for a couple of years now, but it still has overstability. And I like to throw this straight when it's really windy. So this Verdict will go straight when it's windy. And it's a very useful, versatile disc, and something that a lot of players have in their bag is the Verdict. Now I got this new anchor dyed up nicely by my buddy Chris Stone, and this thing is amazing. You can really throw this into these 30-mile-an-hour winds, and it doesn't want to flip over like most discs do. It's a really, really consistent mid-range. If you haven't tried the anchor yet, the new 2017 release, get you some of these because you're going to love it. And then I got my roller disc. I use an Opto Fury to roll with. I dyed it up red on the top and blue on the bottom, so it's got a different look on it, and it's pretty neat when it rolls because you get two different looks at it, and it looks neat and it rolls great. A very good roller disc, and that's pretty much all I use this disc for, is to roll. So this is in the bag for rolling. All right, now onto the drivers. This is my Fairway driver that I'm using, and it is a Deco Dye St. Pro. This is one of the great discs in my bag. Another one, if I could choose 2 discs, I'd probably use the Shield and the St. Pro and play the course is what I would use. And this disc is definitely, you're going to see this thing getting up underneath some baskets this year. Then I have a Opto Cutlass. This one disc is another great wind disc. This right here, I've worn this thing in. I've actually thrown, this was the first Cutlass I ever got, and I've been throwing it ever since. And it's nice and worn in now. And when it gets windy, I use it for my controlled anhysers that slightly come out at the end. And this disc has gotten me a lot of birdies and a lot of shots where I throw this disc and somebody says, well, what was that you threw? It was a Cutlass. Then I have 2 different Gladiators in my bag right now. This one is a 169. Also, both these dyed up by my buddy Chris Stone again. He does some incredible work for only doing it for a year. But this one here is a 169, and this thing goes a little bit further, and man, is this a good disc. The Gladiator, the 2017 releases that Latitude came out with are really hot right now. They're great discs, and you should really try these out as well. And this one is the less stable, 169, and then this one is a 175, so this one's obviously a little bit more overstable. And I use these as pairs, and these are great discs to have in your bag, so go try your Gladiator. I have 3 Giants, which somebody might say they're close to the Gladiator, which this one here I've thrown since I started throwing the Trilogy brand, this New York Giant. You've seen this probably before. And this is a great disc for me. I have to use it for turnovers, late S-ing out, and this is a great. The difference between this one and this one is I'm going to use this one when it's a little bit more windy than this one. So this one's going to be the turnover when it's a little bit more windy. And then the 2 Giants here, these are a matte white Giant, very overstable, given to me by Brad Bomer. This thing flies incredible. Thank you, Brad. And this one here is another one. It's not matte white, but it is along the same lines. It's actually the same plastic as the matte white. And this is another one that's very overstable like this one. And for this Kansas wind, you got to be prepared and willing to lose a disc. So that's why I got a couple of these in my bag. So I'm going to be attacking this course and all these courses and playing like it was just any other day, whether it's 30-mile-an-hour winds or 10-mile-an-hour winds. I'm going to be getting after it with these. And then my 2 really overstable discs that I throw. The first one of the first 9 Trilogy discs that I got, and this is an Enforcer. And you can't even see the stamp on it anymore, but I've thrown this disc so much. This is an incredible disc, and definitely a disc that you would want to throw when it gets a little bit more windy. And probably, like I said, the longest disc in my bag. This is the only, out of the first 9 discs that Dave Feldberg sent me, this was one of them. And yeah, I'm still throwing it. Thanks, Dave. And then I just bought this one a couple days ago after losing a couple discs out at Opie in a practice round. And this is going to get some out there at Opie. And this is a Deco Die Stiletto. I tell you, this thing is incredible. You can smash it as hard as you want, and it's not going to flip over. Awesome disc by an awesome company. And I like to thank Latitude 64 for all they do for me. They're incredible. I wouldn't be out on tour if it wasn't for them, so thank you.